In a bustling city, amidst the towering skyscrapers and luxurious hotels, an elderly farmer named Elias arrived. His clothes were simple, dusted with the earth of his fields, and his hands were calloused from a lifetime of hard work. He had traveled for days, not for leisure, but to sell his season's harvest at the big city market. After a long day, weary and in need of rest, he found himself standing before the Grandeur, the most opulent hotel he had ever seen. All he wanted was a simple bed for the night, a place to rest his tired bones before his journey home. As Elias stepped through the revolving glass doors, the lavish lobby seemed to quiet down. All eyes, from the well-dressed guests to the uniformed staff, turned to him. Whispers and snickers followed him as he approached the gleaming marble reception desk. Behind it stood the manager, a man named Mr. Harrison, whose suit was as sharp as his condescending gaze. Elias, unfazed by the judgment, simply asked, "Excuse me, sir, I'd like to book your most affordable room for one night." Mr. Harrison chuckled, a sound that dripped with mockery. He leaned forward, sizing up Elias's worn boots and simple attire. "Our most affordable room?" he sneered, loud enough for everyone in the lobby to hear. "I doubt you could even afford the water from our taps. Look around you, old man. This is a place for the refined, not for people like you." The laughter in the lobby grew louder, a wave of ridicule washing over Elias. But the old farmer stood his ground, his gaze steady and calm. He had faced harsher storms than this. "Sir," Elias said, his voice quiet but firm, "I am not here to cause trouble. I am a customer, and I am simply asking for a room. What is the price of your cheapest room?" Mr. Harrison scoffed. He decided to play a cruel game, to humiliate the farmer further. "All right, let's have some fun," he announced to the lobby. He turned back to Elias. "Our cheapest room is $500 a night, a pittance for our usual clientele." He paused, a smug grin spreading across his face. "But for you, I'll make a special offer. If you can pay for this worst room, I'll personally give you our finest accommodation, the presidential suite, for free." Of course, we both know that's impossible. The crowd erupted in derisive laughter. The challenge was set. It was a public spectacle designed to shame Elias and force him out. But Elias didn't flinch. He simply nodded. "That sounds like a fair deal," he replied, his voice still even. The manager's grin widened, anticipating his victory. The farmer slowly reached into the inner pocket of his worn coat. The lobby fell into a hushed silence, everyone leaning in, curious to see what he would pull out. A few crumpled bills, some loose change. The anticipation was thick with contempt. But what Elias pulled out was not what anyone expected. It wasn't cash. It was a sleek, black, unlimited credit bank card, the kind reserved for the wealthiest individuals in the country. He placed it gently on the marble countertop. The metallic sheen of the card seemed to silence the entire room. The manager, Mr. Harrison, froze. His smug expression evaporated, replaced by wide-eyed disbelief. He stared at the card, then at the farmer, then back at the card. The name embossed on it was Elias Vance. The name didn't ring a bell, but the card itself spoke volumes. Mr. Harrison's hands trembled as he picked up the card. He swiped it through the machine, his heart pounding in his chest. The transaction was approved instantly, a receipt printed out, confirming the payment of $500. The silence in the lobby was now one of shock and astonishment. The whispers that started were no longer of mockery, but of awe and confusion. Who was this farmer? How could a man dressed so simply possess such immense wealth? Elias calmly took his card and the receipt. He looked at the stunned manager and said, "Now, about that suite you promised me." The words hung in the air, a stark reminder of the manager's arrogant bet. Mr. Harrison's face turned a pale shade of white, then a deep, embarrassed red. He had publicly mocked and belittled a man who could likely buy the entire hotel without a second thought. He began to stammer, "Sir, I apologize. I had no idea. Please forgive my terrible behavior." Elias looked not at the manager, but at the stunned faces in the crowd. A person's worth is not determined by the clothes they wear or the dirt on their hands, he said, his voice resonating with a quiet authority. It is measured by their character, their integrity, and how they treat others. Tonight you all judged me without knowing a single thing about me. He then turned his gaze back to the humiliated manager. I don't need your suite. Your most affordable room will be just fine. I am a simple man, and I require simple things. The truth was, Elias Vance was no ordinary farmer. He was the founder and owner of one of the largest organic farming corporations in the nation. He had built his empire from the ground up, starting with a small patch of land. He preferred the simple life living on his original farm, finding joy in working the soil with his own hands rather than sitting in a boardroom. He intentionally dressed this way, believing it kept him grounded and reminded him of his humble beginnings. The city visit was a rare occasion, but he always used it as an opportunity to see the world as it truly was. Mr. Harrison, desperate to make amends, profusely apologized again and again. Please, sir, Mr. Vance, allow me to escort you to the presidential suite personally. It is the least I can do. There will be no charge for your entire stay. Please, accept it as my sincerest apology. Elias considered it for a moment. He saw the genuine fear and regret in the manager's eyes. Perhaps a lesson had been learned here. Very well, Elias conceded, but on one condition. You will treat every person who walks through that door, regardless of their appearance, with the same respect you are showing me now. The manager nodded vigorously. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. You have my word. That night, Elias stayed in a suite larger than his entire farmhouse, with views of the city lights that stretched to the horizon. But he didn't indulge in the luxury. He simply enjoyed a quiet meal, took a comfortable shower, and slept soundly in the plush bed. The next morning, as he checked out, he left a generous tip for the cleaning staff and a small handwritten note for Mr. Harrison. The note read, "Wealth is not in what you have, but in who you are. Remember that." The story of the wealthy farmer in simple clothes spread through the hotel staff like wildfire. Mr. Harrison was a changed man. He never forgot the lesson in humility he learned that day. He began to manage the grandeur with a new philosophy, one of kindness and respect for all. The incident served as a powerful reminder to everyone who heard it. Never judge a book by its cover. True wealth lies in character, and dignity is not for sale. Elias returned to his farm, to the life he loved, leaving behind a city that was just a little bit wiser. Thank you so much for watching. This story is a beautiful reminder that appearances can be deceiving, and that true class is about how you treat people. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. We'll see you in the next one.